Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday to y'all. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE, aka 13 Wonder of the World, aka Mike DZ. Happy Tuesday to y'all, man, as we getting ready to leave out this month of April and go into the great month of May. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy that everything is going good for people. God bless them. God keep them. Um, Shout out to I wanted to talk about this the other day before I shout out everybody else, but shout out to one of my little homeboys from down here named AJ Gilly, man. He got a spot with the Seattle Seahawks. He used to play football down there, Louisiana Lafayette. And I'm just praying that, the good Lord let him make it and that the good Lord give him strength and that the good Lord help him get that task to where he could be playing professionally football for a long time, man. Great job by him making it. And I just pray that God will continue to bless him as he goes forward for this future. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy, M Breezy, Naya. I love all y'all. My sister, I love all y'all. Thank y'all for joining me on the Point of View. Right now, it's not on the Podbeam app because of the phone I had. I got to remember how to get it back to where I was, where I could talk to you guys off the Podbeam app, and it's not happening right now. So I'm using another app to talk to you guys on. I'm hoping that it's a great app to talk on right now until I get back to you guys normally. Oh man, I was supposed to be had excuse my French language kind of tied up right now. I was supposed to be doing some semi casts on Instagram live. Um, those will be going on soon, as soon as I can get in touch with the fellas, where we can all do it on the for the pod. I mean, for the Instagram live, and talk about these games and talk about sports and things like that. Um, Lakers in right now, they're in trouble. They ain't doing what they're supposed to do. Um, I need them to win tomorrow, and I need them to win Game 6. I think the Lakers will win Game 5, but it's going to be tough for them to win Game 6 because they're going back to Minnesota. They have to go to Minnesota and win one of those games in Minnesota. That's just the whole bottom line of it. They do not need to lose tomorrow as well. They need to keep playing and keep continue doing what they need to do. Um, I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll talk about it tomorrow. I know that Cleveland put Miami out, beat them by 35, I think. Was up by 35 at halftime and things like that. Warriors are up 3-1 on the Rockets. The Rockets are going to have to figure out a way to go back home and get a win. Steph Curry is primed to get to the second round of the playoffs. OKC's waiting on the winners of the 4 and 5 matchup with the Clippers and the Nuggets. I think that's going to go 7. Um, Tonight, Giannis may be getting sent home again tonight, folks. I'm just saying, Dame Lillard's out with an injury, and it looks like you're going to see Dame. He's not going to be playing, but you're probably going to see Giannis out of the playoffs in the first round again. That could possibly happen. So we'll see what happens with that as well. Somebody else played tonight. I think Boston and Orlando played tonight. I think Boston probably could close the series tonight against Orlando if they just go in there and play. Uh, we'll see what happens with that as well, as that happens tonight as well. Let me talk about Raw for a minute. Jey Uso's going to go up against it. This Backlash pay-per-view looks like it's going to do something, folks. We see it's going to be Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the title. Logan Paul's not going to beat Jey Uso. It's not going to happen. Not, and he just won the title at Mania. No, it's not going to happen. It looks like we're going to see a rematch between New Day and the War Raiders. I think the War Raiders are probably not going to win that match. I think the New Day retain the tag team titles if they have that match at Backlash. Of course, we know about Cena versus Orton at Backlash. I don't think Randy Orton's going to win the title. It would be a great stoop for him to win the title unless they're going to do the 2009 situation where back and forth they will win the title at every pay-per-view. But this time around, I think they're going to milk it with John for a little while, let John have the title until they figure out what else is going to happen with that. I don't think John's going to lose. I think the person that's probably going to beat John Cena is probably going to be Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes is probably going to be the one to return the favor and win the match and win the title back. Becky Lynch versus Lyra is going to be interesting for the women's Intercontinental title. I don't think you take the title off of Lyra just yet. I think what you do is you keep having a program with her and Becky and see if Becky can win the women's Intercontinental title, or you make it a triple threat where it's Lyra versus Becky versus Bayley. I think you go with the rivalry between Becky and Bayley. I think that's a matchup that everybody's going to want to see again down the line. Everybody's going to want to see Becky versus Bayley again. I think that's what WWE is trying to head for. Karen Cross is supposed to be getting a shot. Liv Morgan is supposed to be doing something big. She's supposed to be being a part of a huge, big movie. We don't know yet. I'm quite sure somebody's going to spoil it. Gunther is going to go up against Pat McAfee. I think Pat McAfee is going to lose that match, but I think Pat McAfee is going to put up a fight against Gunther. We'll see that match happen at Backlash. Those are some of the matches right now is going on at Backlash. I know SmackDown's probably going to have some matches as well because I think they've booked, 5 matches already at Backlash, I think. Jay versus Logan Paul, Randy Orton versus John Cena, Lyra versus versus Becky Lynch. We might see the New Day versus the War Raiders at the pay-per-view. Also, will Dominic Mysterio have an Intercontinental title match at that Backlash? It's going to be interesting to see. Grudge matches are probably going to take place. It looks like we're probably going to have a fatal 4-way for the United States title between LA Knight, champion Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. That could be a match set up at Backlash as well. And we're seeing a lot of now moving parts. We see that Julia and Roxanne Perez are a part of the Raw roster. So they're going to be on there for a while. I think they've called them up just like SmackDown got Fractional, which are a great pickup by them because those guys there could be on, man, like Donkey Kong, bruh. NXT's coming on tonight. We see the rivalry between Joe Hendry and Trick Williams is about to pick up. I think and let me say this before I get in further in this. Could you imagine if Trick Williams was to go to TNA and win their TNA title from Joe Hendry? If you think that would not be a great shock, absolutely. Fatal Influence won their match at TNA's pay-per-view. You talk about a serious deal. congratulations to Dolph Ziggler and his brother Ryan Nemec. They are the new TNA Tag Team Champions. They beat the Hardys. Moose is still champion. Masha Slamovich is still champion. Man, and Steve Macklin is still the first ever TNA International Champion. But I just want to talk about one thing, and then I'm a yield off this because I'm getting kind of sleepy and I need to get some rest. Suppose if Joe Hendry loses the title to Trick Williams, if Trick Williams was to come on NXT as the TNA champion, you talk about a spark. Now let's remember something. There was a match between Zachary Wentz and Wes Lee, and I think Wes Lee lost the Impact, won the Impact. I can't remember what it was, but I remember that Zachary Wentz had the title. Could you imagine if they won those titles? They're giving NXT all the credit. They're running with NXT on TNA. It's interesting. It is very interesting to see what happens with this ordeal that's going on, this TNA NXT relationship. It's a great thing for business. That is why I said sometimes they are better than AEW in my book. Now AEW had a great show last week. Last week they had a phenomenal show. But this week, we'll see what happens. NXT comes on tonight, so we know that Io Sky is supposed to appear on NXT, the Raw Women's Champion. So we'll see what happens with that as well as she pops up on NXT. Man, I thought, and I'm like I said, I'm about to leave in a minute because I'm getting sleepy. But I just wanted to come and share some things with you, talk a little sports with you. I thought that, and I'm covering this because I really wish this would have happened. I wish that Frankie Kazarian would have been the TNA World Champion. Frankie Kazarian is one of the originals in TNA history. He's won the tag team titles. He's been the X Division champion, but he's never been their world champion. I thought this would have been a great time for him, as well as what Ethan Page was trying to do as well. It's interesting to see tonight Ricky Saints go one-on-one with Lexis King for the title. We'll see what happens with that. Lexis King lost his title last Wednesday to a returning Heritage Cup, to a returning Noam Dar. So we'll see what happens with all that as the moving pieces go forward. Anyway, I just want to come on here and share with you guys. I'm about to get off of here. God bless you guys. God keep you. I love all of you. And this has been your point of view.